lehdistötilaisuuteen paikalla Hongan päävalmentaja Apu Heinonen, pelaajista David Gonsalves, KTP:stä Karpo Mihailovic ja Jesper Granlund aloittaa pelaajista. David, lost by 20. In the first half, still at the game, really good. But what happened in the second half, in your opinion?
I think that we lost a bit of focus in the second half offensively. We didn't get a few stops. KTP was able to get going, maybe 6-0 run early on, and then we never really was able to get our momentum, kind of get in our flow, execute the things we want to execute, and then it was just a little bit. We got a little bit emotionally drained. Emotionally, not the same energy, not the same confidence. And I think that's a mark of what happens early in the season. That's something that can happen early in the season. So that's something that we need to be better at moving forward. That was the point of emphasis. But for me, not so much X's and O's and strategy. That was the game for us in the second half. In the first half, I thought we had great energy, a lot of ups and downs, able to get back in the game a couple times. In the second half, we lost that.
Do you think it also shown as when you about rebounding, you lost the rebounds by 20?
Yeah. It showed on the rebounding. It showed, there was, when you lose the rebounding, in my opinion, you should have a lot of fouls. You should be fouling hard. You should be making yourself, you should be establishing yourself. There should be double teams. The game should get nastier if you're losing rebounds. And we backed off a bit. We backed off. Maybe we were feeling bad because things weren't going in on offense. So then we took a step back on defense, not pressuring the ball the same way, not communicating on defense the same way. Not enough physicality, not enough organization, not so many huddles. These are marks of when you see things kind of going downhill emotionally, and you gotta get that back. You can't. In the Korisliiga, if you lose that, you're gonna lose to every team. That's my opinion.
Okay.
So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kysymyksiä? Okei. Jesper, ihan tällaisena yllätyksenä voi sulle tulla, mutta susta on kehittynyt tuonne katsomoon semmoinen suuri suosikki. Johtuen siitä, että sä kyllä teet ihan älyttömän paljon duunia. Ehkä nyt sama kysymys kuin Davidille, mutta päinvastoin, mitä tapahtui puoliajan jälkeen niin, että ottelu päättyi 20 pisteen voittoon?
No, lopetettiin pallon menettäminen ja jatkettiin ottamista hyökkäyslevyä ja pelattiin fyysisesti kovaa. Että se peli-ilme oli tänään mun mielestä ihan eri, mitä se oli Loimaalla. Ja mä sanoisin, että se olisi se ratkaiseva tässä pelissä.
Nyt pelit on mennyt aika up and down, vähän vuoristorataa, niin onko tämä peli-ilme sun mielestä ollut se syy, että esimerkiksi Loimalla noppaan tuli ihan
Joo, mä sanoisin, ja varsinkin nois just ollut 2 peliä, toi Kataja ja Gulsia vastaan, niin se on siinä lopussa, että ei olla niinku keskitytty, että ollaan annettu menetyksiä, tehnyt vähän tämmösiä niinku tyhmiä virheitä, että annetaan se peli pois, että ammutaan niinku omaa jalkaa. Niin se tulee mun mielestä siitä kovuudesta, ja toki fyysinen kovuus ja niin kuin henkinen kovuus.
Nyt teillä on 2 seuraavaa peliä, on ensin Salo vieraissa ja sitten Karhu tulee tänne kotiin, et ei ainakaan yhtään helppo ne, niin mitkä sun mielestä nyt on tärkeimmät, miten joukkojen täytyy keskittyä lähtiessä esimerkiksi Saloon?
No, mun mielestä meidän pitää jatkaa tästä, ottaa ne hyvät asiat tästä pelistä, just nämä levypallot ja että oltiin fyysisesti parempi joukkue tänään. Ja totta kai sit pitää taktisesti valmistautua, että Salo ja Karhut, niin molemmat, niin pelaa tosi hyvä koripalloa tällä hetkellä ja Salo varsinkin on aika hyvä momentumi, niin siihen pitää vastata.
Jesperille kysymyksiä.
Miten sä oot päässyt niin omasta mielestä sisään tähän uuteen joukkueeseen?
Ihan hyvin. Totta kai just mä sanoisin, että meillä oli just se vaikea, että jenkit tuli vähän myöhässä ja kaikki on vähän etsinyt sitä rooliaan joukkueessa. Mutta ehkä omasta mielestäni se on se, että mä puolustuksessa vedän kovaa ja sitten hyökkäyksessä otan ne paikat, mitkä otan. Että en yritä ihan liikaa keskittyä siihen ja mun mielestä se on silti tärkeintä se, että joukkue pärjää ja niin.
Hyvä. Kiitos. Thank you, David.
Hei, kiitos.
Jesper.
Kiitos.
Kiitos. Thank you. Apo Heinonen, Itse asiassa vähän sama kysymys kuin Davidille. Näit sä ottelun käänteen samalla tavalla kuin hän näki, että teillä niin sanotusti fokus katosi pelistä?
Joo, osittain kyllä siis katosi ja se oli osittain meidän niin kuin Dave sanoi, niin sitä tapahtuu joskus useinkin alkukaudesta, kun pelaajat ei ihan tarkkaan tiedä vielä toistensa vahvuuksia ei niin kuin, tavallaan semmoinen yhtenäinen pystytään niissä vaikeissa hetkissä kaivamaan jostain se yhteinen energia, mikä on meille tosi tärkeää, niin se ei vielä oikein tapahdu. Totta kai siinä oli hirvittävän paljon Kotkan hyvyyttä. Tuot tilastoista toi 20 levypallon ero ja sitten tietysti niinku sitä kautta uudet mahdollisuudet ja sitten siinä oli muutama hetki, kun näytti jo, että me ollaan saamassa toppia aikaa ja jotain uskoa omaa tekemiseen ja Tuomas Hirvonen päätti laittaa pallon pussukkaan ihan vaan vielä kettuilakseen tilanteessa, niin ne oli varmaan semmosia tänään, missä se sitten niinku tavallaan se meidän selkäranka hetkittäin katkes.
Kysymyksiä? Hei. Darko,
Yep.
like talk to Jesper about that. It's been up and down this season. Now today, 20-point win. We don't even want to talk about what happened in Loima anymore. What, in your opinion, changed to this game comparing to game in Loima?
I think like we played with better like offensive confidence, like self-confidence, like the players like by themselves, like that is also like definitely something like that we also like approach like between the games, like guys gotta stay like themselves. So just to give you like an example, Cohen's now playing a lot like on the point guard spot because Hugo is like injured. That's actually not his, call it like natural spot. Like we got Cohen to score for us the ball. When he plays the point guard and tries to play it also like a regular like point guard, then he might tap like into some like mistakes and some situations that is not himself like anymore. Like, and it's not like his fault like that now, like he's more on the point guard rotation than he was like supposed like to be, but we need Cohen like to be aggressive towards the rim. We need Cohen like to shoot the ball. We need Cohen like to score like the ball, and that he did, for example, today like very well. Like of course, like he was a little like sidelined by those early fouls like in the game, but he did that one already like much better. So the offensive confidence, and I think like overall actually like the focus like of the players like was like there just from the beginning, and that was even like visible already like during the warm up that they were like more focused than they were like in Loima when we like arrived like over there, and that turned out like what was our start, 9-0 straight away I think, like something like that. So shown straight away like in the start like that we are like there in this game and we want to like win it.
There was one situation when we were leading, I think about 12, and then there was about maybe 4 turnovers in a row.
Exactly.
Is that the point because like you say, Cohen has to play point that we don't really have a
No.
No.
I don't put that blame like on one player. I think we were just rushing. We got like too overexcited. Like we had like some good like situations. Like we defended like well, where we were even able like to make the game a little faster like than we had like in the previous games. We were just rushing, and that's exactly what you just like mentioned like before. All our games so far, except Loima was like a total call it like blackout. Yeah, that's also what we talked. Like so far, like I think in this league, I didn't see now today's results, but so far in this before this game today, only 3 teams didn't lose high yet, like in the league. There is like everybody has lost, every other team has lost some game with 20, 30, and so on. So we gotta go out of Loima and be like, okay, leave that behind. Like that's like just like one game. All the other games we actually played like also good basketball, like and. But the other games, we were like in the other games, won 1, lost like 2 very tight. Seagulls very tight. Seagulls are a good team. Yo and Sue here, like where that was like our first real game like together, let's call it like that. Like a lot of like up and downs, and that's also like today it was like a lot of up and downs, and that like period specifically we started like to rush. We saw fast breaks that actually were there and we wanted to have them like straight away. Sometimes it's not like the straight away solution, but one solution before the next like solution that leads like to, and in those situations like we just like rushed and turned the ball over, and we have to learn from those. We have to somehow now make step by step like towards like playing like solid like 40 minutes and not just like periods.
In the audience, there were people like, why you're not playing the juniors when we were leading by 20? Is
yeah.
that the reason that you want to play the guys who are playing more to
Yeah.
play together and get that game better before you start playing the juniors?
There's like multiple like reasons. Like I mean, like first of all, there's always like in our like heads that actually we have already like given up games like that we were like also leading like high. So when do you feel like safe enough like to make like the choice like of substituting? Today it was like within 2 minutes like of the until the end of the game, like when we put in like Antti, there is, in my opinion, like the last, what is it, like 3.5 minutes of the game were very, call it weird, very, very odd. I don't think like that like the end of the game was like played like very beautiful. It seemed like actually like both teams wanted like to go like home and so on, like, and and we see like here we were like leading 5 minutes like to go, we were like leading already like over 20. Like there needs like to be some stability like for us coaches to feel like, hey, we're not going to give up now like a 20-point lead like suddenly. Like I've seen it everything, and we can write a story about it like from last year. We can write a story about it from the what were we leading against Joensuu, 12 in the last quarter, something like that. Like that's maybe like the main reason, much bigger reason than of course like some rhythm like for guys and so on, but in the end we play like on Friday like again. But the biggest reason, like as a coach, we want to at some moment like feel safe enough, and then we observe the team and are like, okay, are those guys playing like strong enough at this moment to absorb that we put a couple of juniors, and that we know that we don't go on another 5-minute streak where we toss the ball away and rush and have like 4 or 5 turnovers like in a row.
Kysymyksiä Darkolle?
You have been very good at rebounds this
Yes. But actually that was like thought through and obvious like already like in the beginning of the season. Like when the guys like that we signed, unfortunately Bian had now like today like 5 fouls, and I think like that Bian started the game like excellent. Like I think that he started like very good. Like, but when we signed Aaron, when we signed like Bian, we knew who Hannes is. We don't have like to talk like about like Hannes like and rebounding like the ball. Like there was like also like the idea behind it. We also talked like to the team like very early on, like that actually a lot of games are won because of 50-50 balls, and we wanted to be like good like in those like situations.
Okei, kiitos. Salo, perjantaina Friday Salo. Okei, thank you.